You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, so paths to victory, Christian, talking about how this game could potentially go. What is Washington State's path to beating Ole Miss?
Number one has to go to that running game. It's been so dreadful this entire season. You have to make sure that Washington State is not a one-dimensional offense. If you do, then you might as well pack it in at halftime, get yourself a nice spot, dinner reservations early, I guess lunch reservations as well, because it's going to be a really, really short game for Ole Miss and for Washington State. If the run game gets better, then I think that you can find a way to keep it close. And at least for a little bit till halftime adjustments happen. And then I can still think Ole Miss's talent takes this one away. I'll give you one more as well before I throw it back to you. I think they can't turn over the football. When you're talking the offense, the last 3 games, and most of that with Zevi Eckhouse still there, 8 turnovers over the last 3 games. Can't have that happen as against the number 4 team in the country.
Yes, and a similar thing that with Ole Miss. You just have to play clean. Don't do penalties. Don't do turnovers. The only way that Ole Miss can lose this game, in my opinion, is if Ole Miss helps themselves lose this game. If Ole Miss plays even a B game, they're going to win this game pretty handily. That's not an insult towards Washington State. That's just a statement of kind of fact that with Jimmy Rogers building up a new program and what's going on. I think that's the path for Ole Miss to win, is just play clean. Do not help your enemy defeat you. Basically art of war type stuff. And I think the score prediction for this game, I'm going to go with Ole Miss 35, Washington State 17. I do not think Ole Miss covers in this game. I think it's going to look like a sloppy game. Lane Kiffin is doing way too much politicking about this game to make me think they didn't have a horrible week of bye-week practice. So we'll see how it goes in this football game, but without turnovers, if you get an A game from Washington State, Ole Miss 35, Washington State 17. What say you?
Yeah, I'm really close on that. I got it just a little bit higher. I had 42-21 as my score for Ole Miss over Washington State. And I think that final touchdown for Washington State is consider it a garbage touchdown. I think for the most part, it's going to be 42-14 for the most of it. But I think during the first half, I think this is at most a 10-point game. I think there's going to be a really good first half from Washington State. And I think that's where you get to collect your wins if you're Jimmy Rogers. They have to find a way to increase the drives on Washington State's offense. Ole Miss has done a really good job. I don't have to tell you this. You've been paying attention to them all year long, but Ole Miss has done a great job with their methodical 10-plus play drives. They've done a really good job keeping their offense on the field, and Washington State can't let that happen. They have to have the ball just as much, if not more, than Ole Miss did if they want to find a way to control the clock and keep the score as low as possible, because I think that keeps them in the game even better.
All right, before we get out of here, explain what the Pac-12 is going to look like next year and why everybody should perk up to what's going on.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. July 2026 is when the Pac-12 reignites. I mean, it's still around, but you're finally bringing in some more teams. There will be 8 football teams, Washington State and Oregon State, the new original 2 that have been there. And then they're going to add in Texas State from the Sun Belt, and then 5 teams in from the Mountain West, in Colorado State, Utah State, Boise State, San Diego State, and I'm missing one, Fresno State. So you'll have 8 teams.
So you have to have state to be in that conference.
It's what it sounds like, right? Yeah, it's all states, all state schools. Yeah, really funny stuff. But all of them definitely hit the cake on that one. What will be interesting is that there will only be 8 football teams. That means there will only be 7 conference games for the first year while they wait to most likely add some new members in the near future. But that means there's 5 non-conference games. So we'll see who adds those, if they're the SEC or some of the other power conferences, or if they'll find a partnership with another G5 conference. But overall, some exciting stuff. And I think it's nice just to have that brand back, a true Pac-12 brand back into college football. And Pac-12 After Dark is definitely a fun primetime spot.
All right. Tell everybody how to watch your stuff with Pac-12 Daily and all of that good stuff, man.
Yeah, you can find it at pac12daily.com, or you can find it on YouTube at Pac-12 Daily. We drop stuff about all the teams, not just Oregon State and Washington State right now. We're talking about all the new Pac-12 with July 2026 coming very soon. I didn't want to wait around, so we dropped the brand new Pac-12 Daily. You can find that anywhere you listen to podcasts as well.
All right, Christian Rao, Pac-12 Daily, thank you very much for coming by, and we'll talk to you later, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks.
All right. Christian Rao, thanks to him very much, and thank you for making Locked On Ole Miss your go-to source for Ole Miss sports. We pride ourselves on offering the most comprehensive perspectives, which is why we are the front door of Ole Miss. If you don't believe me, Google Ole Miss Podcast and see how much we come up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. It helps the show, and it's completely free. Your support means the world to us. It's another big moment on Locked On. College football fans, Locked On and Fire TV are presenting College Football Kickoff, your ultimate college football weekly preview. Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12 leads the conversation alongside two-time AP Coach of the Year Gary Patterson, former college star Jesse Holley, and, of course, Locked On's panel of local experts, a college football preview show that only Locked On can do. Catch College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the season, only on Fire TV. Hotty toddy, and remember, analytics is just the old English word that means bad football. We'll see you tomorrow.